Bamm Ericsen here with AFTERBUZZ TV for Power, Season 3, Episode 8, titled Trust Me, Kennelia. What you think about that sex scene between Angela and Greg? Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There it is. Yes.
What's this song called? Romeo? Juliet?
Yeah.
Romeo?
Romeo, no Juliet.
Do that again. What was you doing?
Oh, just my little flamenco.
What's up, everybody? It's Bamm Ericsen here. You can follow me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia.
And what's up, everybody? I'm Robin Ayers. Hey guys, Janeisha here. Follow me on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI.
And in the AFTERBUZZ building, he plays
Let's
Greg
go.
Knox. Please welcome Mr. Andy B.
Slow clap.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Hi,
madness.
Whoa.
Thank you for being here. So before we get started, we have an announcement.
You guys, are you planning to watch the Emmys? Anybody?
I am.
Of course.
We love the Emmys around here at AFTERBUZZ. But in the history of television, it's never been so funny, so dramatic, or so good. Think about the show that you are on. Why am I flubbing this?
You got this.
Think about the shows that are on this season.
Yes, Kennelia.
There's House of Cards, Modern Family, Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, Power.
Yeah.
What else? Blackish. I love Blackish.
That's a good show, yeah.
It's a good
Yeah,
show.
it is.
Homeland, Better Call Saul, Veep, Transparent, Silicon Valley, Mr. Robot, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, on and on and on. I mean, really, television's golden age is right now.
Yeah.
And don't forget The Americans, Transparent, and Master of None. And on Sunday, September 18th, television's greatest night is the biggest live event of the year. You can watch the show that celebrates great television, the Emmy Awards. There's no better night to watch the best of the best face off and see if your favorite show wins. So you can see what everyone's wearing on the red carpet, who looks hot in real life as they do on their shows. Dang. And it's going to be one of the funniest men in television hosting, Mr. Jimmy Kimmel. So make sure you tune into the Emmys live Sunday, September 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific on ABC.
Right.
All right, so much to talk about.
Yes.
And so now let's discuss Tariq. So we find out the house that Kanan is now at is the house where Breeze, who was this drug dealer who Ghost and Kanan used to learn from, kind of like a drug mentor.
Yeah.
And so Ghost killed him at the house, which is why that bullet is still there. And Kanan just tells Tariq all the business.
Yeah.
Before we get into this topic, okay, Petty Pablo is about to speak right now. How was that bullet still in the?
Ooh, the voice changed.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did go into Petty Pop.
I did.
Wasn't expecting that, Bamm.
Thank you.
Very good.
Continuing, yes. How was the hole still in the wall? I mean, I understand that Grandma probably lived there for 20 years, but how was the hole? Petty Pablo. All right, he's done.
They just put a frame. They put a picture over it. Covered it up. You know, you can't see it out of sight, out of mind. I'm just saying.
And it was, if Breeze lived there, was it a trap house? Who has repairmen in trap houses? There ain't no maintenance.
They ain't nobody can carry no hole in the wall. I'm just saying.
Just put the picture over there. And then keep it moving.
Okay, that just
Great point.
He had to come out just for a second, but now going on with the rest of this storyline. So, what is you guys' take on this whole situation? So, Ghost and Tariq and Andre. Should Andre have manned up and not let Kanan allow him to kind of step in the way he did? What's your take on this? Let's just have an open discussion.
Well, here's the thing. If we're saying that Dre is the new Ghost, or he's very similar to Ghost or whatever, is it possible that he has some sort of savvy, just like Ghost? Okay, maybe not. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Bamm is not going for it. But I'm saying, like, is it possible that he's maybe thinking something up on his own? Maybe he's just trying to play the game.
I don't think he has a choice at this point. Like, we've seen Kanan literally, manhandle him and just shake him up a bit. And so he kind of has to go with everything. Because remember, he threatened his daughter's life. He basically, threatened him. So
if this were Ghost, would Ghost be on his toes, and would Ghost be like, okay, I'll play the game, but I'm really kind of coming up with my own plan.
Ghost is doing it
behind the
right
scenes.
now. We see it.
But that's what I'm saying. Is if Dre's the new, because everybody's comparing him to Ghost, and he's like the one coming under Ghost, is it possible that he's coming up with his own scheme?
Go ahead.
I think it is. However, I think even whatever plan he has going on, he just needs to tell Ghost at this point. Ghost, Kanan told me that if I told you that he was alive, he would kill me and my daughter. He's alive and he is kicking it with Tariq, and he got him drinking lean. Please help. Help.
No lean.
I mean, she makes a valid argument. What can I say?
At this point,
The
he
lean,
needs
that
to
was the
tell.
describing right
Lean.
there.
I mean,
Camel's back.
God. Like, poor Tariq. Kanan is turning Tariq into a hood rat.
And I think Tariq is just like vomit at the mouth, just saying everything. Like, come on.
And what was your take on how Tariq so easily
he just trusts him.
do you think that was realistic, or do you think that he's naive due to his environment? What's your take on Tariq? Okay.
Well,
Well, I mean,
think that's something to
come on with
I think the kid's been through a lot, and I think he's in a pretty vulnerable state, right? Would you agree that is not normal?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think certain things happened quickly that, I believe it. I mean, he's introduced through Dre, right? Of this guy. He knows his father. Okay, there's number one, and then he's also what was the other thing? He
knew Sean.
He knew Sean. That's the
Sean.
second thing. And it's the way it was. He caught him in a place, Basketball City, where he's comfortable. He's in his own environment. His shoes got complimented on. I think if you're in that particular state, I think there's only certain things you need to do to get someone on your side.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So to answer your question is regarding if he's the next Ghost, does he have a plan? I say hell no. I doodled some notes, and when I think of this storyline, Dre is in complete fear of Ghost, of Kanan.
Right.
Okay.
Fear, false evidence appearing real. Dre is stupid and needs to die. He fears Kanan. Kanan has no friends. He doesn't have any goons with him. When he's walking up to the spots, he's solo. Everybody thinks he's dead. Nobody even knows that he's there. Dre should have took his ass, killed him in a corner or the alley. He'd have been dead for 2 weeks and nobody would have found his black ass. Dre needs to die, and because of that, he's dying.
Oh God, you cannot afford Dre.
Oh, Dre's going because listen, he needs to go because there's no Kanan talks like he's the real man, like he wants to be Ghost. He thinks he has the power, but he's not as smart as Ghost. And there's no real evidence support that he's the man. So
Okay.
I don't. So
He's a scary dude, though.
Damn, fed up,
yes,
okay.
he's scary, but
He's a scary dude.
he's scary, but he's all talk. Like Dre already allegedly carries a gun with him because
Right.
Ghost told him to have the gun.
Right.
He needs to man up because if he doesn't man up, Kanan's going to kill him because Kanan already said that he doesn't trust him. So you better kill him before he kills you. Dre, sorry, homie, you're gone.
Oh God.
I don't think
Well, fortunately, Dre's a fictional character because I respect what you said.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, yeah, because Bamm will kill.
Bamm
kills everybody
off.
I'm about to leave. I mean,
no, we
I'm
killed
about
you a
2
couple
minutes
times.
away from ending this for myself.
We've killed off Greg a couple times. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
But I would see that point if he just met Kanan, right? Because if you're just meeting Kanan, you're like, okay, you don't really roll with the posse. You're just by yourself. You're a lot of talk or whatever. But he knows the past life. He knows who this guy is. So I'm just saying maybe there's like a deeper fear of like what he's really capable of.
I get that, but if you kill, it's not like he has. Like Dean, you can't easily just kill Dean because Dean has
people.
His squad.
he has like a million goon squads.
Yeah.
Ghost has no. Kanan has nobody. You can easily kill him, and nobody would even think about it.
But you know what? Let's really think about it though. Kanan is an OG. Whether he is an awful person or he rolls alone, Kanan is an OG. So for somebody underneath them to take on the task and committing to killing the OG, that's bigger than just pulling up on them, shooting them in the alley and leaving them dead.
Yeah.
That's a decision. Because everything that comes with the OG killing the OG, you're going to be known as the dude that killed Kanan.
Exactly.
That's it.
But Bamm is saying that nobody knows that Kanan's alive.
Yeah.
But there are a few people that know that Kanan's alive.
He's been rolling solo the entire season 3. His Tasha Smith ain't called about him. Like, there's nobody who has come to check up on this man. He can be killed.
But this is the question.
Jukebox.
She's in DC. She'll come back later.
She
Yeah, but by the time Jukebox figured out, it'll be season 4.
Think about it. They don't know. Nobody thinks Kanan is dead because when he got supposedly set on fire, his name wasn't in the paper. There was no obituary. They didn't find a body. They just think Kanan disappears like he usually does.
Yeah.
Can't take the Chinatown bus upstate all the time. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Why you put him on the bus?
So nobody is looking for him because that's just Kanan's. That's how he moves.
That's his MO.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how he moves.
Yeah.
So he can't. I mean, I think Dre's toast at this point, but I don't think I ain't gonna kill him all the way you did.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of kills, so what do you guys think? What will Ghost and Tasha do when they find out Tariq has been hanging with Kanan? I have a couple theories, but I'll let y'all go. What do you guys think? 'Cause
Everyone just looked at me. The question was, what's...
what is Tasha and Ghost going to do when they find out that Tariq has been hanging out with Kanan?
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would respond with a question. What would you do in that situation? I mean, it's you're not gonna ground the kid.
No. I have a couple theories. Tasha may actually kill him before Ghost can even get to him.
Tariq?
No.
Kanan. You know, I thought
No,
that
no.
she might kill Kanan too.
Tasha may kill him before Ghost can even get to him because that's her baby. Or Tasha may tell Tariq to keep feeding him information. Because, you know, she's good for that. She's good at playing the story. And also, I think Ghost and Kanan have to fight again. They have to meet. And I feel like some kind of scuffle is going to go down. And what's going to happen is I think Tariq is the one that's going to have to kill Kanan because because they have been setting this boy up to live this hood life. He's guns, he's cussing out, like he's leading into that direction. So those are my theories.
I don't know, but I do agree about Tasha because remember I said that I think Tasha has to kill somebody this season. I think we really finally have to see that she's about that life, and I think Kanan could be that person.
Yeah,
I know I would. You step to my kid like that, you know, we're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
So
I think Tariq is gonna be so far gone after this that it won't matter what Tasha and Ghost do in retaliation or once they find out that he's been hanging out with Kanan. Because again, he's turning Tariq into a little hood rat. He's drinking, skipping school, bringing guns to school. He's done. He is so far gone that let's say they find out and then they kill Kanan. Tariq's still gonna be a hood rat. He's still gonna be acting crazy. The damage is done. He hates his father. He's cussing at his mom. I don't think he can be saved.
Disagree. I feel like Tariq is gonna find out that Kanan off Sean, and he's gonna have a really hard time dealing with that.
Which is why I think that he may kill him in retaliation. I
could see that.
From an audience point of view, it's kind of nice that Courtney and the writers chose to bring Tariq into the world in this kind of way, right? To be used as that kind of tool, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming. I thought it was I think it's been fascinating to see that the world of like an angsty, like how does this world actually affect a child in reality?
Yeah.
Because it's all these adults just getting in these arguments and fights and death, but like there's children involved in this situation.
Yeah,
I love that
exactly.
they went that direction.
Yeah. I found it fascinating that Kanan was getting ready to kill him until Tariq said, he
hate my
saved his
dad.
own life and didn't even know
Now
it.
that's petty Pablo. See? It's like I know what you did now. You gotta notch it up a little bit. Yeah. And now I'm back.
But so don't you guys think that there's going to be something to that? Maybe he's going to start utilizing Tariq as like his own little, his tool.
The new Dre, maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly, but I still think it's what's done in the dark is gonna come to light. He's gonna find out about Sean. He's gonna know Kanan did it, and it's gonna be like some serious drama. That's what I feel. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go forth. So last night's episode was called Trust Me, but there were a lot of there was like this one ongoing theme, which is really Power, the name of the show. Because there were so many positions people were trying to play with each other. So I decided to let's play a game called Who F's Who. The contestants are Tasha and Keisha, Greg and Angela, Tommy and Ghost. Let's start with Tasha, Keisha, in this storyline. Okay, so Dean goes into the weave shop to test to see if Ghost told Tasha who he is. Tasha doesn't seem to fear Dean as much as Ghost did, so Keisha overhears most of the conversation. Okay, so now what are your thoughts on the conversation between Tasha talking to Dean? What was your take? What was your take on their discussion? Did you have any vibes or anything you guys were feeling between them two?
Well, not necessarily. I do feel like I thought it was interesting that Dean picked up on the fact that Tasha knew, because I think when he came in, she tried to switch it up a little bit, as though she was still supposed to try to keep it a little bit savvy, like like, hey, Dean, or whatever. But clearly he called her out, like, yeah, he told you everything. So I thought that was interesting. But it goes to show me that Dean has been around the block. I mean, we all know that anyway, but the dude is like actually a lot smarter than what I gave him credit for.
I mean, I just like the fact that you can tell that Tasha knows the game. She knows this. She knows how to compose herself, or at least try to. I mean, initially, of course, you see that little bit of shock in her face, but I feel like she gathers herself and she knows that she has to, hold it down and try to maintain, I guess, some kind of composure. So I think she does a good job at showing us that she's like real street savvy.
I agree.
So should Keisha have played like she was in the back room the entire time, or was that smart of her to act as if she knocked something over so she could join in on the conversation?
I mean, I saw it as an act of loyalty for her friend. I think she probably felt that something was happening to Tasha. Maybe she was in danger. I mean, look at his body language. He was leaning into her. Like, I mean, that's how I saw it. I saw it as, she wanted to break something up.
Yeah.
Before it got out of hand.
Yeah.
She was, and the irony is that, she was there for her friend, and then it's, she gets a piece of information.
Yeah. Wow.
And I don't think, because at the end we see that Dean told Tommy to handle Lakeisha. So in my opinion, it didn't matter if Lakeisha came out or if she didn't. The fact that Dean seems to want to prove this point that you can't be connected to people and there's extra ties, and he wants to punish everybody. I think Lakeisha was bound to get it anyway, even if she stayed in the back. So I think for the sake of Tasha understanding that she did something wrong, I like that Lakeisha came to her and was like, why did you do this to me? Like, you can't just funnel drug money through my shop. Like, you can't. So I like that she confronted her.
But had she stayed in the back, would Dean have even known that? Dean obviously knows she exists, but I felt like because she stepped out and Dean saw her face to face, that caused what we'll discuss later. Okay, open discussion. Now, what's your thought about Keisha confronting her about you running drugs? You've already touched on it a little bit, but
She was right. Like, how dare you bring these drugs into my place and me being your best friend not say something. So I think she was right for saying something. It's just messy. We kind of saw this happen in a couple of months.
We talked about it already.
We said it was gonna happen, but it's just sad that she's really caught up in the mix.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Keisha, she all this time, she was in season 1 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so this entire time she's been sort of the accomplice in a sense of just seeing what goes on in the life of Tasha and Ghost, and just sort of like looking at her lifestyle, looking at the whole, the entire game being played. But now that she's involved in it, it's so unfair. So I think that she had every right to just kind of get out and just kind of confront Tasha. But interestingly enough, I don't think I've ever seen Tasha as shook as she was in this entire episode. Like, she's always composed. Even in her facial expression, she picks things up. Like, even if something catches her off guard, she's just like, but she's quick. And so this is the very first time that we saw her just kind of like, I don't know, I really don't know, and just kind of
same with her husband too, right? He's pretty shook this entire episode.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's your take on her giving her the $500,000 as hush money?
It seems like it won't matter at this point.
Yeah, and so do you guys think Tommy killed her?
I don't know.
I think so, because something has to push Tasha over the edge. Nothing has pushed. Everybody else has been pushed to the limit. Tasha doesn't know. She still doesn't know Holly died. You know what I mean? Nothing is really hitting Tasha except Tariq. She knows that Ghost is going through with this Milan thing, but Milan stepped to her not the same way he stepped to Ghost. So I think something got to push Tasha over.
That's a good point.
So I think something did happen to Lakeisha.
All right, I'm going with that. I think that he had to kill her then.
Had
So
to do
I was just
something.
hoping not, because you know I really like Lakeisha, but you know how the show goes. It's like somebody's got to go.
I said she had to go, but as a fan watching, not you, the actor who's read the script, but as a fan of the television show, do you
Thank you for assuming that I know how to read. That's, I really do appreciate that.
I mean, really, because you could be feeding someone could be feeding your lines.
I'm an actor. How am I seeing that particular scenario?
Yeah,
friendship.
the friendship, and do you actually think that she's gone? It was kind of left open.
I mean, yeah, and I think it's deliberately left open.
Yeah.
I mean, that it'll come out when it's supposed to come out. I think the tool of not knowing is actually the most useful.
Yeah.
And I think trying to figure out if Tommy has gotten to a place where that is who he is now. Like, and he could actually commit something like that with someone he knows personally.
Okay, yeah.
I think leaving that ambiguous is more powerful than knowing. You know.
I'm curious,
For
just
now.
on a side note, or still having something to do with that, when you are reading the script, I know that clearly you're paying attention to your lines and you've got to study up for your own scenes, but are you into the entire script just to know what's going on, or do you choose to watch that as a viewer?
Oh, I mean, every script that comes out, it's. I mean, that's the fun of it. It's the world. You're just a variable in the whole world, right? And you want to. I mean, I'm fascinated to see how everything connects, and there's certain pieces that actually does inform certain things when it comes to like the actor, because it's like, okay, if I try that, maybe that'll ping off of that moment that happened earlier, and it'll just make the show better. I mean, it's fun. It's fun when they come out and reading it. Yeah.
Last thing before we move on, do you think it's a big deal that Milan mentioned to Tasha about Ghost not knowing that she has her weave business?
I didn't think
that up. Yeah.
Okay.
But wait, how did Milan know?
He knows everything.
How did he say to
Jeez.
Tasha, tell Ghost to forget getting rid of me?
Yeah.
How does he know that Ghost is trying to get rid of him?
I think that it's only natural when you are a black market assassin, drug dealer, like when you're that powerful and you have so many people working for you, I think he just assumes that anybody that you basically punk, especially someone like Ghost, that at some point someone's going to come for you. So I don't think he knows. I just think he's so smart that sometimes he says things just to let you know, like, you can't get over me. That's how I took it.
Well, but then Ghost is hanging out at bars that only Serbians hang out at. You the only black dude in this bar.
Word. I thought that
And
was so sloppy.
nobody was like, Dean, this the Milan, some dude in here with a leather coat on.
Yeah.
Somebody, Ghost, it has to have gotten back to Milan. It has to.
At this point, I kind of feel. I mean, they sweeped his office for bugs. They didn't find any, but I feel like they probably have some kind of bug. I mean, some kind of tracking system on him. Just something that's feeding them
following
all.
him somehow.
They're following him. They're keeping up with everything that he's doing. They have eyes on him apparently. So. I mean, same thing that Kennelia said. I thought it was pretty awkward. You're the only black dude at a bar. You're like, he's just all over the place.
Yeah.
You gotta get it together. He gotta get it together.
Now, my favorite storyline of Who F's Who is Greg and Angela. So, when Cooper, Angela, and Greg were in the office talking about who's the leak, Black Donovan comes out to reveal that Lobos was shot while on the run. He walked in the woods by 2 sets of footprints. Angie looks to Greg. Then Greg gets a text from Medina. I thought it was interesting that when that happened, why did Angie immediately look at Greg, who she knew would be looking at her? Like,
It's just so guilty.
yeah, is that just a guilty thing?
I took it. I mean, I took it again. She looked hella guilty. Well, she looked like she knew Greg was like,
because Greg already knows or assumes it's the two guys. It's Tommy and it's Ghost. So she's just like, I mean, that's a natural reaction, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Had to ask. I believe I got a tweet about that. So now Greg tells Angie, "You must show me proof that Ghost is not involved if he wants her to let this whole thing go."
Oh, she showed him, all right.
So Angie comes over late at night. I'm assuming after 10 o'clock. Hair all big and puffy. She sits in the chair next to him, hella close, and she shows a video that Ghost was with his wife Tasha. Angie breaks down. "I'm not the leak. You can tell me, what'd he say? You can tell me you told me so." She runs her fingers through her hair. She gives him the look. Greg caves in, and then he kisses her. Angie says, "I should go." Greg says,
Plays so much games. Go ahead.
Greg says, "I'll walk you to the car. This is a bad neighborhood." Angie, still with her hair poofed out, says, "I'm so cold." And that was all they wrote. While this is going on, James is in the bar talking about how much he loves Angela. Okay, so now let's talk about this whole Greg Angela situation.
This was such a thought scenario.
Did you guys peep the way Greg was sexing Angie?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? What?
I don't.
Okay, so let me. Okay.
What's the underlying point there?
Okay, the way.
What?
If you notice the body language between the two, it was a game of who's playing who.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's what I call revenge sex. You know, Greg was. How can I say this? Greg was like, "I'm just gonna give you the wood because it's harder than Chinese arithmetic, right?" But at the same time. But at the same time, he's thinking.
I mean, I almost failed in math in high school, so I'm
okay. But at the same time, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to give you." You know, he's the poor thing's horny. He needs some. But at the same,
I don't think it had to do with that.
But at the same time, he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing your ass. Yeah, I'm about to get it."
I just don't think he doesn't trust her, and she knows that that she still loves him.
Right, but at the same time, you smash her, you get it, and then you play her all at the same time.
But couldn't that be said about what she was doing?
She was trying to do the same thing as well.
I think they were playing each other.
I took from the scene as they both had, they both felt something for each other at some time, right? Mm-hmm. So in that moment, they both were vulnerable. Angie got played. She's been getting played. Greg feels like that Angie isn't being straight up with him, but he still kind of misses her. So I took it as it was a vulnerable moment for both of them on the top surface, but underneath, both of them had ulterior motives. Yeah. And again, if you have sex with somebody that you ain't had sex with in a long time and y'all have had beef or whatever, it's going to be different. Yeah. It's going to be different. It's not going to be just like a regular Monday night where y'all come home and y'all together. So, I mean, to me, it was like, I expected that.
I took it, I saw it that way. And then also the way she was, when Greg was on top and the way she was looking over to the left while looking at Jamie's picture, like the whole thing the whole thing just says, okay, who's they're playing each other. And I feel like this is the only time that I've actually liked Greg the whole entire season. Mm-hmm. At this point, I was like, yes, you get her ass. Mm-hmm. He won. Yeah, to me, he won. He won the who's gonna F who. He got her.
Right. But let me ask though. Technically, Angie isn't the leak. You know what I mean? Like, she's proven herself to Greg when she really isn't the one who is the inside man. Yeah, she told Ghost when she was pillow talking and told him a little something. Yeah. But she really isn't. She really isn't the person.
She's still protecting him, though. Yeah. And she's doing all of this for Jamie, in a sense, too. I mean, of course, to clear her name, but also for Jamie.
And she's also guilty because she's giving Ghost information, so she can still go to jail.
True. And then at the end of the day, right. So she really isn't the leak, but I think in Greg's mind, he's just like, I've seen too much. Like, I know I followed you. I followed Ghost. I know what's up. And so I think in his mind, you can't tell him any different. And so I think this was a play.
I mean, you know, the writers and Courtney and the Gary Lennon, who was one of the executive producers, but he wrote this episode. I thought that scene was really actually very beautiful. because for obvious reasons, they're both vulnerable, but they're both right in the scene. I think there's a lot of pain, obviously. I think they're both exhausted. And I think they're both lost, and I think they both hate each other. Like it's very complex, and yes, both people are seeing they're putting a little bit of bait out there and seeing how much can be taken, and at the same time, there's probably a little bit of guilt of putting it out there. I mean, there's these flashes that happen where you could see like, or I think Greg could see like, oh, that's the woman that I would like love, and maybe he would hope that Angela would look at him and be like, do you see that this is also the person? Like, yes, he just cheated on you. Again, this is the person that I've always known. What I've found out him, this is the type of person he is, and like, did you see that this could still work? But no, I hate you, and you've just screwed my life up. I mean, and to take it to that level, to take it to the bedroom, and to do it the way that we chose to do it, which was very intimate, like looking at each other in the eyes. That's not an accident. We thought it'd be a really good idea to be able to lock in with each other and constantly be checking in, like, are you there? Are you fucking me? Are you there? Are you there?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was really delicate, and I think that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to figure out. Yeah.
On a side note, there's so much sex. I can only imagine what the craft services table is like. Do you guys have to constantly watch and not eat the entire day because there's so many scenes where you guys have to show so much skin or show nothing?
I don't know. I mean, I've only had to do it a couple of times. They're the people on the show who, that's their job, and I think. I don't know. It doesn't. All that stuff doesn't matter. It's. And at the end of the day, it's about telling the story, and that's another way to tell the story. And it's very, very technical. It's very specific. It's talked about. It's. There's a lot of respect happening in that moment.
Yeah.
And so, what were your thoughts? So after the scene was over, she gets up, she puts her shirt on, she grabs her purse, she goes into the bathroom and has a shower running while he's texting Medina. He says, I think Angela's working with St. Patrick. I think we can get them both. And then she is contemplating regarding the phone issue.
To me, I couldn't necessarily figure out what she was doing. If she was contemplating planting the phone, or I didn't know what she was doing. But in my mind, Greg was the one who was like, okay, I just got her where I need her. You know what I mean? So that whole text, that's sort of what that was about. Like, I think we could get them both because now I kind of have her in my grasp.
Sure.
Yeah. No, and I didn't think about the whole perspective of planting the phone or anything. I was just thinking she was debating. I like that though. I was take it as she was just debating on telling him about the phone, or after doing all this, she's like, I still have this phone. Like, what am I going to do with this phone?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I just thought she was going through the phone.
Yeah.
in the bathroom, but rather than it look like she's just in there doing something and he's trying to figure out what she's doing, she had the water running to kind of distract. Girls do that. When you're in the bathroom doing stuff you don't want the other person to kind of figure out. You just put on the shower. So.
Something else that I liked about Greg's character last night is he was so smart to pick up on certain things. So when Medina and him were having that conversation earlier, when he was like, stop bugging me, only call me if you have some real information. In that conversation, he realized that if Lobos is dead, that means there's a new connect.
Right.
And so he's on it. Like Greg is really on it, and
Greg has been on it from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that is, the guy's, he seems to be the guy. First of all, he started out as like a good person, a good guy, and he's only been forced down this road, right, to be making bad decisions. But he's the guy who's always right? Like he's figured some stuff out, and then it always gets slighted last second. I mean, you can imagine how frustrating that must be. You can imagine what that does to a person.
But as a viewer, though, would you agree that we're looking at Greg as though, even though he may have been on it, he was just acting out of emotion, and so we weren't necessarily connecting, versus now he seems like maybe emotion is a little bit less, and so now he's acting out of logic, like, okay, this doesn't make sense, and he's putting two and two together. But as a viewer, we're looking at Greg like, yo,
he's just obsessed.
You're obsessed or, emotional.
Yeah. Everyone's obsessed on the show, right? Everyone's pretty obsessed.
Obsessed with something, that's right.
So with that being said, can you discuss or give us an insight on what is Greg's new goal now that he has Angela where he wants her, and with the new distributor, will he get Ruiz to give the information? Like, what's his goal for these next?
The goal is the same, isn't it? It's in the text. Let's get them both.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the goal changes. I think that's the end goal.
Okay.
I don't even, how much do we know, like, why we're doing something in the moment? I mean, I don't think he probably even knows he's been set on that. It's almost, it's the whole thing of, like, when a, dog chases a car, once he gets to the car, does he even know, like, what he's going to do with it?
Yeah.
Right.
It's the train left the station.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So let's discuss Ghost and Angie. So MJ calls it right out. She has a meeting with James. She says, you've used her once to help your drug dealing friend Egan beat a rap. That worked so well. I think you did it a second time. I think you used her to help Egan kill his supplier, Felipe Lopez. And I'd like to offer you immunity for your testimony against Angela Valdez. And then she mentions that you paid rent. Turner and Mr. St. Patrick. MJ then goes to Angela and says, I get it now. I wonder why. I wonder what it's like to wake up with him every morning. Wear wire. I think he will confess just to get back up under that pencil skirt. Who mentioned the whole rent thing?
I think we all kind of did.
Yeah.
I think that was an underlying thing because she was up. She even pointed it out, like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it was about her being independent. I think it was the fact that she knew that Ghost had ties in selling drugs, and once the drug dealer pays your rent, then
You're part,
you're part of it.
Let me go back for a quick second, Andy. Help me to understand, or us understand, if there's this love that Greg has for Angie, because we still believe that he was in love with her or is in love with her or something underlying there. If he, and I'm sorry, I don't want to go too far off, but you're here. I got to just find out. If that's the case, why is he trying, like Greg's goal is to get her locked up, correct? Just to get her put away in jail, or what's behind that though? If he's in love with her or loves her?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. He's not still in love with her. I mean, what happened, right? And we'll quickly break this down. I mean, he was with her. She broke up with him. Fine. Okay, so that happens, right? But then when you find out that the person that she left you for is the criminal that we've been trying to find, and then you perhaps are working for him, and then when I find that out, you're going to throw me under the bus and ruin my reputation. Like, it's so past, like, love. It's so past.
Right.
It's not petty at all. It's like it's the ball game.
Right.
It's life. It's like betrayal on another level. So yeah, I don't think love really exists. If it does, it just creeps up in these little pockets that you don't even expect. But I don't think
That's good. That's
he's
good
not going off of
clarification.
love. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's really good, actually, because we had been discussing for so long whether it's this obsession or if
it's not. I've heard a lot about that. Like, he's obsessed. It's like, yeah, sure, to a degree, as I think everyone is obsessed on the show to a particular degree. But I don't think it's out of, he's hurt because, you broke up with me. It's like, we're past that.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that happened. It's the principle. It's a philosophy. It's justice.
Yeah, that's good because there's so many people who still ask that question and still wonder, what's behind.
And it's valid for everyone.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's not petty. It's not about, like, hurt feelings.
Okay. It's the ball game. It's what it is right now.
Yeah,
the job, too.
Not only,
Yeah.
you ruin the person's career as well.
Yeah.
Or tried to.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Poor
Thank
thing,
you.
bag on. I mean, Greg was. They
You've
had.
been lied to.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do.
Good.
Okay, going back to Ghost and Angie, does Jamie have a right to question Angie about Greg?
No. But, I mean, how many of us can say we've had an ex that asks you about the new boo? I mean, that's just how it is, you know?
Yes, but at the same time, it's like it's not just her ex boo. It's the fact that Greg is who he is. So what is going on in that office that I need to know about? Is there something going on between you and Greg that I need to know about? I think
You
maybe.
think that's where it came from?
No, I mean I think that I'm just saying he asked. He said, does he have a right to ask? And I'm just saying personally, if that were me in that position, it probably has something to do with your ex or whatever, but also what else is going on.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
I won't even touch that one because really quickly. So we discussed quickly about what Angie will do with the cell phone. I think that she will either use it as a trump card and she'll keep it in her back pocket. Is an option. I wonder if she will actually confront Sandoval with it. Will they work together because maybe he has something on her? And then I also wonder if Ghost finds out that it's Sandoval, will he kill him?
Well, I think at some she has to come up off that phone quickly.
Yeah.
Because you're just sitting. They think it's you. And then they know there was a phone in the office and it traces back to whoever had to connect with Lobos. And you got the phone in your purse.
Right, right.
She has to figure out, she needs to figure out what she's going to do today.
Which
Otherwise they're going to be like, oh, you had the phone the whole time. It's you.
Yay. Which could lead back to what maybe she was contemplating in the bathroom, whether she was going to leave it there or not.
What's your thoughts on the wire in the car?
Now that she possibly could be holding on to as her back pocket, like information, like I'll use this if I need to or whatever.
I agree with that, yeah.
And Sandoval's ex-wife and daughters was mentioned again with the conversation with he and Hugo. Any thoughts about that before we move on?
I don't think anything's coming from that. I mean, we see that Hugo's dead, so at this point, his family's not a total a direct threat, at least in my mind. So yeah. What's Greg's opinion on Sandoval? Do you think Greg has any clue as to who Sandoval is?
No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I think he's a boss and he's a smart guy. He seems like a good guy. Knows that he has a family, and it's about Angela right now.
Someone in that room did mention Sandoval, though, right?
Yeah, it was Cooper.
It
Yeah.
was
Said,
Cooper.
it was like, could be any you two, and he was like, oh, it could be Sandoval.
Yeah. Tommy and Ghost. So Ghost and Tommy, they meet with Hugo. It goes bad. Tommy killed the poor man because he mentioned that damn dog.
Dog was real cute.
That's cute.
He went in.
Well, hold on. Let's derail for a second. You're telling me in that situation, if someone kills your dog, you're not gonna have feelings about that? No.
And not just any dog. The dog. Was
I'm learning a lot about
the love
Bamm.
of your life.
I'm learning a lot about Bamm today.
I'll sing a song. Dear dog. Y'all want to join in?
I don't know that song.
I don't know
By the
this song.
Braxtons, Dear Dog. I could sing a song and we can have a memorial over the dog if you
No,
want.
no, thank you.
Okay. All right. Because I would have sung. If not, I can lead it. If y'all want to back me up.
I don't know this one.
All
Sorry,
right.
man.
Jam.
Okay. So we have to get into the meat and potatoes of this whole Ghost and Tommy thing. So the roles switched. You
Yes,
see Tommy
definitely.
Tommy was more leading,
Bossing it up this
was bossing.
episode, yeah.
So so Ghost is his goal is to try and figure out Milan's weakness. Meanwhile, Tommy is helping Milan run the business with the addition of selling the pills. The whole distro meeting at Club Truth was everything. You had the Asians, you had the father, who we forgot to mention last week, but he's a part of this as well. You had Pancho, who thought he was running things until Ruiz entered and basically told him to get me a drink and sit your ass down, get on my way. Tommy leads the meeting. What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on Tommy now is kind of becoming number two to Dean?
Right. Well, I specifically took away from that Milan was doing a really good job of letting Tommy feel as though he is the man. He's like, in front of everybody, I'm just going to show you that you have this type of power. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's all intentional. And then clearly we could see that just with the discussion that he and Tommy had while they were sitting there, just saying that you need to cut ties. And he said, you could be me. You know, so he's just definitely allowing that to happen. Which also at the same time, Ghost, he just lost all his power. He in his own spot. In truth, the truth is that he lost his power. Like he looks in. I mean, you get what I'm saying,
actually,
right?
I
He
actually,
even looked shook. He looked
uncomfortable.
frazzled.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
Yeah.
but I think in the end, I don't think that Ghost was as lost as it appears to be. I really do think that he does have a plan, and we may not get it, but I do think that when it comes to this situation, things are going to prevail. What I also think is interesting, how when the two of them were in the car and they were talking about not making any plans without each other.
Yeah. They both were lying.
They were both lying to each other.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like the plan is, Tommy, you keep working Dean. Get into his face, do what he needs to do. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and then we're gonna meet next week or whenever, and we're gonna come together and we're gonna take him down.
I don't know. And the reason why I might disagree with that is that when he saw Tommy later on at the meeting spot at the headquarters, he looked shocked that Tommy was. I mean, am I the only one who saw that? Because I don't think
disappointed.
he looked disappointed, shocked. Like,
Yeah.
well, you told me that you didn't know where the headquarters were, that you didn't know anything else about Milan.
And from another perspective too, not even that Milan is just some new distro that they found and he seems like a good solid connect. No, this dude is terrorizing them. He's
Right.
literally coming and terrorizing. So Tommy is choosing to partner or to be a little more open with him. Maybe for Ghost that changes who he thought who he thought Tommy was at this moment. Because again, at one point Tommy, when we first saw Milan, Tommy was like, "You just gonna let this dude talk to you like that? Blah blah blah." You know, and now Tommy is over there kicking it.
Yeah.
Like that changes the dynamic of who he thought Tommy was. From what I gather.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was in that bowl that Dean was eating?
I thought it was dead body.
Any thoughts? Andy, what was he eating?
I mean, it looked vegetarian to me. That's it.
Okay. Whatever it was nasty.
But I want to point out too. I think Ghost. We have Ghost and James. Jamie is another person.
Bless you.
When
Thank
they
you.
brought that meeting into truth, that just blew up who James thought he was. You know what I mean? Like James likes to keep everything in truth about truth. Even right before that, we saw that he lost the deal with Karen. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think it did shake him because somebody got killed in the middle of the dance floor. He didn't even know they were coming.
Yeah.
Here comes Tommy, this boss dude, and you got Milan in the back chilling like nothing is going on.
Yeah.
So I think it really did. I think it shook Ghost. It shook him hard.
We saw it too when he went in the car to talk to Tommy, and he was just kind of like all over the place. Tommy was like, get it together, and
Right.
And that I do agree. He did seem, shaken up. But I do think that at the end of the day, he is slowly but surely composing himself, and he's assessing the situation. So even when he was outside, which I don't understand how they didn't know that he was outside
they didn't see the
in
big SUV.
the big ass SUV. I'm not going.
I've been thinking that for the longest while.
That was Petty Pablo. But I feel like he has a plan, in that I think things are going to work out. What are your thoughts on him now drinking? Because we just found out that apparently he had a drinking problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it can't end well. I don't think, because
Yeah.
I don't think they would have told us that, or it would be a thing if it was going to end up just with a bow tied around it.
I mean, as a viewer, though, I mean, don't you think that he has to drink to play the part? If he's at the bar, he's got to drink. If he's at the bar, he's going to the bar to find out about the cigarettes.
Right,
So
but
he's got to play the part.
But he does have to play the part. But if he's drinking so much, like, we don't know what this past is, because Tasha seemed very worried. She called Tommy and was like, yo, he's drinking. I need you to take care of this.
Right.
So does he become someone else? Does he become, give me a name.
Like a drinking name?
Yeah.
Earl?
Does he so he's Ghost, he's James, and now he's Earl.
Nailed it.
Earl drinks. No, but I think, again, even if he is playing a part, if you're an alcoholic, you could be playing a part, or you could just be socializing. The minute you pick up that bottle, it's straight downhill. So I think Jamie's intentions are, I'm playing the part. I'm in here making connections. I'm doing the job.
Yeah.
But while he's trying to do that, I think it's gonna be
But I feel like
yeah.
we've seen him drink like one or
Yeah,
one.
he
Yeah,
drink-
he drinks,
been
but
drinking,
but he was
yeah.
but he was down in it, and
Yeah.
he was drunk. He came home, which we know obviously that he's back at the house and now
Yeah.
he's sleeping on the couch.
I think
sofa.
at this point though, I think he kind of accomplished what he was trying to do, which is find out where the headquarters was.
Yeah.
And also he saw Tommy there, so I think now more than anything, like he's gonna be a lot more collected because he knows that Tommy's right now playing with the enemy. Like he's on the side with the enemy, so I feel like he knows now. Okay, well I gotta figure this out, and I only got myself right now. So
Yeah.
I think soon enough we're gonna see James be Ghost again. I'm
And he
gonna
said-
give it to him.
And
I think he will.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
too, because he actually told Tasha, he was like, I'm in control.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So
Trust me.
whether he is or not, I'm just gonna give him the
giving it
benefit
to
of the
him,
doubt.
yeah.
What's your thoughts on Ghost telling Ruiz to snitch out Milan as the new distro?
So now Ruiz is gonna die. Like, is that what you want, Ghost? Why would you do that? Like every time Ghost asks somebody to help in regards to this Milan situation, I'm like, whoop, you just ruined him. Dre, he's like, I want you to find this out and blah blah blah. Dre's toast. Ruiz, I want you to snitch on him. Ruiz is toast. Who's next? Everybody, Ghost is throwing everybody under the bus for the sake of him and his little plan that nobody knows about. That's what I have a problem with this whole time. I'm like, stop inviting everybody into this little scheme.
He can't do it by himself though.
Yeah.
So.
True.
Really-
so stressed.
Really quickly, we won't do any predictions, but really quickly, I just want to go into you. This is your first major role here on Power. What's this experience been like, being such a part of such a phenomenal show?
Yeah. I came. I did like theater. That's all I did, and I came out here, and I was fortunate to get this role. It was first TV gig ever.
Wow,
which is
congrats.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
crazy. And I mean, it's hard to put into words how lucky and fortunate. Those are words that are tossed around a lot, but it's
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah.
To enter like a family like this, and a creator like Courtney and all everyone like 50 and the writers and the cast is amazing. I mean, it's like I'm spoiled, and you know, it's been an amazing education, you know, having fun playing every day. You know?
Was Greg the original character you auditioned for, or did you?
No, I went in for a couple things. I went in for like Kentos and Tommy and all these things, and then this one seemed to make sense. Yeah. And we got to play with it. We got to roll with it.
You know what I enjoy about your character are your facial expressions.
Oh yeah.
Very, very like spot on, and I think you can tell a lot by Greg. Or I don't know. I mean, we assume a lot by Greg's facial expressions. We may be on point or not, but you get what I'm saying. Like you do that really well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
What do you say about that?
Any other questions?
What would you say? Based on all the time you've been on set, like what would you say? Do you have like a specific scene that sticks out to you? That's a favorite, or it was an experience
Of mine or like
of yours?
Oh,
Favorite Greg moment?
I mean, I think like for like catharsis, like, you know, for 2 seasons, you just build. I and Greg were just building up all this kind of tension and hatred towards this woman, Angela. And I think the finale of season 2, coming downstairs in like the elevator and really kind of letting her, kind of getting to unload and let her know exactly what I'm gonna do. And I think that was a lot of fun playing that. Yeah, really just letting it finally release and stop bottling everything in.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Final thing. What can you tell us about episode 9 or 10, the finale? What can you tell us about anything relating to Power without getting fired?
I mean, nothing other than there's no way you're gonna be able to predict it. I mean, it's if there's one thing, there's many things, but that this show achieves like on a weekly basis is you just don't know what's going to happen, where it's going to come from, and it's just that's what makes it so addictive, right? and everyone in the show, the cast, it's so believable. All these like crazy turns. I believe it. I think everyone is so supremely talented, and the writers and the creator. I think you won't know until it gets to the finale, and then I look forward to you guys talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have one last quick question. Is there are you working on anything else outside of Power at this moment, or can we look?
No, not really. Just a couple of like small projects, like little indie things with some friends right now. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing more of Greg. You playing the hell out of that character, man. I
Not
swear.
creepy Greg.
Yeah. You playing the hell out of that.
I mean, okay, wait. No, one last question. So, wait, how do the fans like? What is the craziest thing a fan of the show has told you? Because I'm sure you've done a lot of crazy stuff.
No. I think one of the funniest things is I think we were shooting something in season 2, shooting something on the street. And it was outside. I think like where we get like Lobos, and they're coming out. We're putting him in the car, and it's like we're about to do the shot, and this woman comes over next to me, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's you!" And I go, "Yeah, we're about to go." And she goes, "Oh my God, you look so much more attractive in real life." And action. And I was like, oh, yeah. That was funny. That was real funny. That was a great way to enter a scene. Really boost up the self-esteem there.
Oh, let everyone know where you can be found on social media.
Oof. That'll be tough. I mean, my Twitter, I guess, Andy being actor. I rarely use it, but I should use it more. I should do it, right, guys?
Yes.
I gotta do stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you guys can give any final thoughts or comments where you give your plug. For social media.
I'm just looking forward to the next 2 episodes. I think it's gonna be fire.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna swap it, and I do think Tasha's gonna kill Kanan. All right, and you can find me on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI.
You guys can find me at Robin Ayers on all of my social media platforms.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia. I also think the Jamaicans gonna come out of nowhere.
Oh.
We just forgot about that.
Flop, flop, flop.
Right, because the club.
We forgot about this.
Because they do want to rob. They do want to rob the club.
Them and they got murdered.
Yeah. Good one.
Serbian Jamaican war. I'm for it. Let's do it.
I've given so many predictions I won't get one, but you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen, and also this Wednesday you can catch me on episode 3 of season 3 of You're the Worst. It's on FX. Wednesday, September 7th, FX. The show is called You're the Worst. It's episode 2, so check me out.
Hey.
And wow, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We want to thank our
Yes.
special guest, Mr. Andy Bean, who plays Mr. Greg Knox. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
And
You guys are awesome.
please come back next year because we do believe you'll make it out.
We didn't kill you.
Oh my God, that's true. You did it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
You're
here on out, at
you
least.
are safe.
Guys,
Yes.
Says
thank you.
Bam. Bam put his
Yeah.
stamp on it. You know that's official.
Yeah, you're safe.
Was it because of the whole Peter Pablo thing, like that connection?
Yeah.
I think Greg is just so smart
Yeah.
that you just can't. You can't. Like, listen, if you didn't die after 2 shots. I
Sounds
mean,
good.
yeah, you
took that like a
yeah,
G.
you have 9 lives.
You gotta take it.
But thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for tuning in AfterBuzz TV for AfterBuzz. Thank you for tuning in AfterBuzz TV for Power Season 3, Episode 8. We'll be back in 2 weeks. There won't be an episode for next Sunday, so come back 2 weeks, and we'll see you guys later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.